All right, hey, hi everybody. Rich here with Mile High Endurance, and hey everybody, Coach Rich here with Mile High Endurance, and I want to do a quick video for you on hydration topics. What I want to talk about are basically two things. One is how to figure out exactly whether or not you are hydrated, and to what degree that you're hydrated, and that's the first topic. The second topic is some ways that I am using to make sure that I've got the right nutrition, hydration nutrition on my workouts and my races with me, and that it's measured right so that I know exactly how many carbohydrate and sodium or electrolyte calories I'm taking in. And so the first topic, or the first question to answer, is, am I hydrated? And the way that I do that is you can use the basic, clear pee is the key test, right? When you go to the bathroom, take a look, and if your urine is really clear and not yellow at all, you're probably pretty well hydrated. That's a pretty rough estimate. The product that I use is actually, you can pick up any one of these types of kits. This happens to be a rapid response urinalysis kit. And on the back of it, you'll see there's a chart. And what's really important in this chart is one specific measurement, and that is specific gravity. And that's that dark green item right there in the chart. There's a lot of different items, from testing leukocytes, nitrate, I don't even know how to pronounce that, protein, pH, blood, specific gravity, that's the key one, ketones, bilirubin, and glucose. Now, for the case, just like I said, for hydration, what we're really concerned about is specific gravity. And what a fully hydrated what full hydration is a specific gravity of 1.000. You can probably see that if I get it in close enough. And that basically means that your urine weighs the same as water. That's what you're trying to get to. The chart, as it moves away from 1.00, goes to 1.005, 1.010, 1.015, and so on. In each of those cases, your urine's getting heavier than water, and that's getting dehydrated. Typically for me, I actually will start to lose motivation in a training ride or a race when my specific gravity gets to about 1.015 to 1.020. I start losing motivation. I can't push the pedals at 1.025 the way I would like to. And usually by the time I get to 1.025, I am starting to feel kind of nauseous and sick. By the time I get to 1.030, which is the worst case here, I'm throwing up and on my hands and knees and not feeling very good at all. The way you do this, obviously, what I do is I actually have a box or a sleeve of these little Dixie cups. You're just looking for something that's big enough to get a sample. And what I do is I will weigh myself, and more on this later, I will weigh myself completely in the nude and dry it off before I go on a long ride or long run. And I will do a quick urine test, pee in the cup, drop this in the cup, trying to get it submerged, certainly through that specific gravity part of the strip. And the way that they do this, they actually make it really nice. They've got a little key and illustration of someone holding the strip in this particular kit. Again, this is a rapid response. And then you can just hold it up to the key there and you can see what it looks like. Now, this is not a used one, so the colors haven't changed. These are just the baseline colors. They haven't responded to a test of urine, so they don't match. But you can see that's how you line it up to know after you've done it. It only takes about 30 seconds, honestly. Once you pee in the cup, put this in there, hold it in there, and then take it out. And what I do is I lay it on top like that, and then I lay this next to it, And just so I make sure that I get the samples correct, I actually take my watch off, because my watch is off for weighing myself, lay it down next to it, take a picture with my iPhone, and then I've got a snapshot. I know what time of day it was. I know I've got a marker of something that a visual evidence, or an artifact, if you will, of exactly how well hydrated was, what my specific gravity was at that moment in time. And then I might, halfway through my workout, get back to the house, do another test midway, and then another one halfway, or sorry, at the end of my workout, measuring doing the urinalysis test and taking a weight measurement, completely naked, completely dry, and be able to monitor my progress. What I will tell you is I then capture that information, and especially my weight, temperature, and intensity, and I put that into a spreadsheet. I'm going to include in the notes on this YouTube video a link to a blog article that I've written on Mile High Endurance that has kind of an outlines how to do the hydration test or the weight loss test to determine how much fluid you've lost during a workout, and outlines what the columns are in my spreadsheet in terms of the calculation to make sure that you get the numbers right. So that will be in there. So that is all about measuring how hydrated you are. So that's the first part of this little video. The second part of this video is what I do to make sure that I've got the right nutrition on board. And I'm now training and racing with only fluid, meaning only electrolyte mixes, electrolyte and carbohydrate mixes, no gels, no bars, just fluid. And the two products that I'm using right now are Scratch, just regular hydration mix, and this has 380 milligrams of sodium and 21 milligrams of carbohydrate in each 22-gram scoop. Okay, and it spells out how many grams are in the scoop right there, which is kind of nice. The other item that I use, and this is just for longer rides, or runs, and this is my Infinite. This is a big bag of Infinite for sure, and this has 293 calories per serving or per scoop. There are a serving size is 2 scoops, so basically half of that is 1 scoop. So basically, instead of 293, it's probably about 150. And there are 771 grams of carbohydrate and 671 milligrams of sodium in a serving. Again, a serving is 2 scoops. So this is actually just my kind of auxiliary supplement. My mainstay is just Scratch. I can really almost get away. I can really pretty much get away with Scratch formula almost alone. And so if this is 22 grams, what I needed to do was figure out, okay, how can I take this with me? Because this really works well with my stomach. Other drinks that are served on courses often don't. And you don't really find Scratch or Infinite served on courses. So how do I take this with me? You can always get water on the course, which is great. So what I do is I actually have 3 bottles on my bike. I've got a bottle between my aero bars, and then I've got 2 bottles in cages on my tail or behind my saddle. And what I do is, of course, I've got one bottle of Infinite. So I really don't have to bring Infinite with me. That usually will be enough to last me in terms of a supplement there. But I can't carry enough Scratch already in bottles. So how do I get my Scratch on the ride for subsequent bottles? Because I actually go through, my sweat rate's pretty high, about 40 ounces on average per hour. So that's pretty high sweat rate. Now, if I can only carry 2 bottles, that's only going to last me an hour. But longer events, like not so much Olympic, but a little bit with Olympic, but definitely with half Ironman and Ironman, I'm going to need multiple bottles. My last half Ironman, I went through 7 bottles, 7 20-ounce bottles during the ride alone. So how do I take it with me? Well, what I did is, and you can figure this out for yourself, but I thought I would just share what I did to make it a little easier. I wanted to figure out how many milliliters, how much volume was in this scoop of, here we go. This is the scoop for scratch. How many milliliters are in that? And what I found was one of these little medicine vials that come with children's medicine kits. They come with cough syrup and such. Well, this has got 10 milliliters in volume. And what I found is that if I fill this up twice, that will be, actually ends up being 20 milliliters, and 20 milliliters fills up that little scoop. Oops, get it right down to about 10 there. There you go. That is 20 milliliters right there. So I know that this guy is 20 milliliters. So then what I did, so it's 20 milliliters of volume, I went online and I just did an Amazon search for plastic test tubes, 20 milliliter test tubes, and this is the guy. So this guy right here that has a screw on, screw off cap fills up, basically is the equivalent of this. I also sometimes want to have a little extra, a little more concentrated, and which case this is a 30 milligram test tube. So I've got a 30 milligram test tube. I'm doing a video recording.
Did you turn off the Wi-Fi?
No.
It's turned off.
I'll fix it in a second. I'm almost done here. Yeah, that's weird. All right, little edit here. So I know then if I can carry 3 bottles with me on the bike to start with, I need 4 bottles remaining for a half Ironman. I basically just need 4 of these guys, and 4 of these filled with scratch fits very easily into my bento box on my bike. So instead of having a bag or something like that, that's really hard to make sure you're getting a precise measurement, something like this works really well. I think this was like 15 bucks for a pack of, well, you can see them here, this many. They're reusable. You can just, once you dump it into, and I've got, like I said, I've got the Aero bottle between my bars that has a fill port. I can just dump this in there and dump the water in after, or put the water in first and then dump this in after, and kind of do it the latter. Fill the water in first from an aid station and then just dump this in. You'll pretty much never run out of them. Same thing with this. I think these were about $15, and these are the 30 milligram size. The Infinite is a much bigger scoop. There you go. That turns out to be about 80 milliliters. So that is 4 of these guys, or just about 2.5 of these guys. You can almost get away with 2.5 of these, or just 2 of these, and it's pretty close. So that's how I do it, carrying it on the bike. Same thing on the run. If you have a handheld, a lot of handhelds have a pouch. These can fit in the pouch of a handheld pretty well. They don't take up a ton of room, and then you can make sure you have your hydration with you. And they stay dry, of course, and they seal, so they keep everything in there nice and neat. So what I'll do is I'll put links to both of these just so you can see representations of them. By the way, this looks like glass, but it is not. It is a polymer, and this is just regular old plastic. And that we don't have to worry about dangerous glass breaking on your in your bike or in a transition area or something like that. You can't take glass in a transition area. That's it. So there you go. There are your tips on how to make sure that you are hydrated using a urinalysis kit, and how to just another way to maybe take your nutrition, your hydration nutrition with you during a race. Hope that was useful. Like I said, in the notes in the description of this YouTube post. Look for links for these guys, these test tubes, and where to find these, or so you just have an example of what you're looking for. And also there will be a link to this kit and where to get one of these, and also to the article that I mentioned where you can test your sweat rate. Those 4 things will be also in the description. Again, hope this is useful. If you're like me and you're a high sweater, these are things that preoccupy your mind, and you want to make sure that you get this right. If you're well hydrated throughout your race, you're going to feel great, you're going to feel much better, and you're going to last a lot longer, and you're going to perform better and just enjoy yourself. So that's it for this video, and look forward to chatting with you about the next subject. Rich from Mile High Endurance, signing out.